In this video, we'll talk about exam strategies for the CSWP Multools exam. The types of questions that are asked during CSWP exams are all pretty straightforward. If you're taking the Multools exam, that means you've at least passed the CSWP exam, so you're familiar with Virtual Tester and how everything works. So by this point, you should be fairly comfortable with applying the material to your part, double checking your units, and making sure that all the document units and all the document properties are set up just how the question is asking. For the most part, the Multools exam is not going to be testing you on how to set these up, so it's not going to throw you a curveball. But just double check by starting every question, setting your materials, making sure your unit properties are all correct. That'll go a long way to making sure that your answers are going to be in the right format for the right question. Next, take your time. You have 90 minutes for this exam, and in my experience, this is going to be one of the shorter CSWP advanced exams. You should have more than enough time if you've done the prep work. Everything is pretty straightforward. Make sure that you read each question thoroughly, and if you have to, read it 2 or 3 times. Work through the question, provide your answer, and make sure that if you have the time, come back and double check it. If you ever get stuck on a question, don't sit there and waste your time with it. Pass along to the next question and come back later. You want to make sure that you always come back to your questions, but there's no penalty for skipping and coming back at a later time. I've seen it time and time again where people prepare and the question is asked in a little bit different manner and it throws them a curveball and they sit there and they get stuck working for 20, 30 minutes on one question. It's very important that you finish all the questions, but it's better to finish 90% of the questions and not be stuck on one and waste all of your exam time. As I said, this exam should be pretty straightforward, not have a lot of curveballs thrown your way. So as long as you've done the prep work, everything should be standard.